Hello and welcome to my new channel, Champagne and Stitches. My name is Sarah and this is Flosstube number 1. I hope you enjoy what you see and you stick around. So before we jump into my WIPs, a little bit more about me. As I said, my name's Sarah and I live in Surrey, just outside London, with my partner and our 2 children and our very antisocial cat. I was a teacher for a very long time. I stopped teaching about 10 years ago, but have recently gone back into running after school clubs, teaching sewing to children at primary school, which I'm really enjoying. So I've been sewing most of my life. My mum taught me when I was very little, and I've always stitched something, whether that's sewing my own clothes or doing a cross stitch. I've had a go at quilting, so I've got a couple of double quilts that I've made and many quilting projects on the go that I haven't finished yet. I like to applique wall hangings and things. In fact, I probably spend too much of my time sewing. I was always a monogamous stitcher, so I always only had one project at a time, especially with cross stitch. So up until probably 2023, I would always finish one project before I started another one. And then I found Flosstube, and once you find Flosstube, you know what happens. So my one project at a time has grown and grown, and as you'll see from my WIP Parade, I now have 10 projects going, and I'm sure it won't stay that way. I have many more kitted up and many patterns that I want to have a go at. So let's jump into my WIPs. My first WIP, my oldest WIP, is from the Historical Sampler Company. Bought this one a few years ago actually, but didn't start it until last year because although I ordered 16 count Aida, turns out, even though it says 16 count Aida on the bag, that this one had 32 count linen in it, and that scared me slightly, having never stitched on anything other than an Aida at that time. So this one stayed in the cupboard for a couple of years until I pulled it out in March last year to have a go with it. So this is as far as I've got. Not very far at all. As you can see, I've stitched this motif in the middle, which if we look at the pattern is this little bit here. So still a very long way to go on this one. Every time I look at it, I think I really want to get back to it, but I've come across so many other things to stitch, it just keeps staying in the bag. I must get it out. Hopefully next time you see it, I'll have gone stitched on it a bit more. My needle minder is from the Historical Sampler Company as well. So that's my first WIP. My second WIP is this one, which you may have seen. This was all over Instagram last year. This was from the Witchy Stitcher Patreon, I think in May or June last year. Leave me alone, I'm cross stitching. So I joined the Patreon just to get this one, and this is where I am on it. So I'm stitching this one on a 28 count even weave from Coffee Craft Fabrics using the called for DMC. My needle minder, I think this is my favourite needle minder that I have. I think it's from ukneedleminders.co.uk, and I'm keeping this one in a bag from the Halloween box from Kate Blandford. You'll see a lot of Kate Blandford things, as I do like to buy lots of her needle minders and floss drops. So that's my second WIP. Pop that on the floor. My third WIP I'm keep in this bag. This is one I made myself, and it might give you a clue as to what's in it. This is from Boomerang Stitches on who is Amity from the Hathaway Stitchers on Flosstube, and this is her Schitt's Creek sampler. This is where I've got. So for those who don't know, Schitt's Creek is a television programme. It's incredibly funny, and I knew the moment I saw just this emblem here that it was going to be Schitt's Creek. So I haven't got very far on this one yet. I don't have a picture to show you of what the finished stitch is going to look like. It's a full coverage, and I am currently on 3.6%. So with just these two motifs, and I'm using the called for DMC on this one. That's going to take me a while, but I will get back to that one. Amity's stitches, I've done a couple of them and really easy to follow the patterns. So once I get going on this one, I should be able to put quite a lot of work into it. WIP number 4, many of you will recognise. I'm keeping in this project bag from Ness's Craft Room, which I bought on Etsy. And in this is Lola Crow's Greenhouse of Oddities. So I joined in with her Deadly Aquarium sale last year. I was too late to the party for this one, but I joined in at the start with the Deadly Aquarium and kept up to date with it and finished it on time. And when I finished, I went back to this one with the idea that I would stitch this and it would be finished before she released her next stitch along. Now, her next stitch along, she's just announced, is coming, so it will probably be released in April, roughly. And as we can see, I am not going to be finished with this one, so this will have to go away. So this is how far I've got on this one. This is a beautiful fabric from Coffee Craft Fabrics again. She doesn't name her fabrics, but it's in lovely pinks and blues and greys, and it is a, let me see, a 32 count even weave, and I am on 19% completed. So I've done the dome and I'm going to work my way down now from the dome. Needle minder again, another one from Kate Blanford. So that is WIP number 4. Number 5 is in this bag from 75 Sewing, and it's Silver Creek Samplers T-Rex. I love Silver Creek sampler patterns. I have so many of them kitted up, just waiting to start. And also I'm obsessed with tea, so it made sense that I stitched this one first. So this is how far I've got on this one. I'm stitching this one on 28 count Atomic Ranch fabrics in weathered stone, and just started on the words using the called for DMCs. So this is how far. Excuse my needle, so I'm just working on this one. My needle minder is from the restricted section box from Black Needle Society, and I feel like I need to pick this one up again and start stitching on it quite soon. So that is WIP number 5, halfway through. So WIP number 6 is in this bag. So this is a bag I made myself, and this was my birthday start. I wanted a big start for my birthday, so I chose one of the biggest ones you can do, Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. Had this kitted up for ages, so I made the project bag. I had the Silks for You rainbow silk. I even got myself some little bobbin floss bobbins, little long dogs, you see. So that's from Pip and Chip, from the website, and this is my start. So as you can see, this one is going to take me a while. So this is as much as I've done so far. Just turn it round. you look at it here, this is, whoopsie, this section here is this little bit just here. So again, that one is going to take me quite a long time. So that, as I said, was my birthday start in December, and I am currently at 0.19%. So not much. So my next WIP, forgive me because it's just fallen off the back of the chair, is this one. This was from Forbidden Fibre Co, and it came as a kit. It was their stitch along Advent, sort of after Christmas, so from Boxing Day through to 12th night, and we had 12 skeins of floss to open, and then we had stitching every day using those flosses. So this is the pattern. It was in black and white as it was a mystery stitch along. It's in black and white so that not to give the game away. And this is as far as I got. This is on Forbidden Fibre Company, that way round, 28 count Lugana in Burglar. And that's as far as I've got. So what I did was, as I opened the floss every day, I made sure that I stitched something in that colour floss for the day. So all of the 12 colour flosses are now on here, and I just need to carry on. I need to close up the border, do the writing, put the characters on, and the needle minder was part of the kit from Forbidden Fibre Company. So that is WIP number 7. Number 8 was my New Year's Day start in this project bag. This bag is from Bee's Crafty Bags, which I got from Lakeside Needlecraft. And this is a year at Hawk Run Hollow. So the idea was that I would stitch the correct month box every month, starting with January. So we're almost at the end of January, and actually quite pleased with how I've done. So here we are almost finished, ready to start February when February goes. So like I said, this one is almost done. This fabric is Cedar Linen Fabrics, 32 count Spindrift using the called for DMCs. And my needle minder is another needle minder from Kate Blandford on Etsy. Haven't got much more to do. I just need to finish the writing in her skirt, do the backfill in the white, which as we all know is hideous, put on her other boot, and then finish off the border. And then I'll be ready to start February. So that one is a year at Hawk Run Hollow. Keep me going through the year. Okay, so WIP number 9, we're almost there, is in this home case from Canny Little Fox in Christmas, what the Nightmare Before Christmas. So in this home case, this houses all of my Heart in Hand Tiny Towns, and I'm currently stitching Big Hearted Tiny Town. So I keep all of my Tiny Town charts in here, ones I've stitched, ones I still need to stitch. This is my current floss drop for Big Hearted Tiny Town, and this is how far I've got. So again, not a very big start on this one. I have not got Cherry Tomato, Classic Colourworks Cherry Tomato, so I've sort of stopped stitching. I am stitching with the called for Classic Colourworks and Weeks Dye Works. So, and I think now the house here calls for Cherry Tomato, which is why it's got one of my hairs on. which is why I have stopped. And my needle minder on this one, which has disappeared around here, is another needle minder from Kate Blanford. So, and on this linen, which is Zweigart Belfast linen, 32 count, I have my other tiny towns that I've completed. So I've got Christmas tiny town and Halloween tiny town there. So I'll fit another tiny town after this one. So that is Heart in Hand, Big Hearted Tiny Town. And my final WIP is this was a January WIP Go call, and it was for a kitted project that I had, so I chose to stitch this one. This is Cottage Garden Samplings, Peacock Pincushion, and this is how far I've got. So my aim isn't to complete this in January. I wanted to get at least 500 stitches on it, which I've done, and I'm stitching this again on a coffee craft fabric which is 28 count even weave, and actually this I got as a kit from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabric. So it came with the linen, the needle minder, called for flosses, which are DMC, and 1 week's dye works, and the pattern. So I want to, before I can mark this off my WIP Go board, I do want to finish it, but I don't need to finish it in January. So that is WIP number 10. So like I said earlier, I don't think it'll stay at 10 WIPs. I have many other kitted projects upstairs and many other plans for 2025. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that and that you come back to see what I've stitched next. Thank you.